Joining me now is Senate Appropriation Committee member, Senator Markwayne Mullin. Senator, great to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Wow, what a reaction from your colleagues on the left.
Maria, it's all gloom and doom for them. Their hatred towards President Trump and any agenda that he's putting out there is mind-blowing. But their numbers are so ridiculous. I mean, you heard them say the one big beautiful bill is going to cause millions of children to die in the country. I want to see how they back that up. When they start talking about these most ridiculous rhetoric that they have just to fire up their base, it's like, okay, when are you going to fight for America? Because all you're doing is giving gloom and doom and your hatred towards President Trump. But at some point, you was elected to lead. So where's your ideas? They don't have any because their ideas reflect socialism.
Meanwhile, you've gotten so much done in the last few months, passing the big, beautiful bill into law right now, as well as the rescissions package and the digital assets bills as well this week. What's your take on the priority right now, Senator?
Well, I want to go back and talk about what you just said, because we have absolutely done tremendous amount of work. Underneath President Trump, his leadership style is absolutely wearing me down. I used to say no man will outwork me because I honestly don't require a lot of sleep, 4 to 5 hours. I don't know when this man sleeps. It is not unusual for me to talk to him between 12:30 and 1 a.m. and again at 5:30 a.m. But his leadership style is pushing us to do better. His leadership style for America and for the future of America is so strong that we're able to be more productive in this Congress underneath President Trump, Leader Thune, and Speaker Johnson than any Congress in recent history and may be history. I mean, think about this. We've done a rescission package, which was the first time that's happened since 1999, a reconciliation package that cut $1.6 trillion, and now CBO has actually came back and rescored that, and it's closer to $2 trillion in deficit spending. And now we did a cryptocurrency bill that people didn't think could get done, and our market is absolutely responding. And then you start looking at the appropriation bills that we're starting to do now. We have a real opportunity. Oh, and not to mention, in June, the first time in June, we've seen the Treasury receive $25 billion in surplus, meaning that we brought in more for the first time in over a decade than we spent. That is all because of President Trump's leadership and the American people trusting the Republican Party in November and putting us in charge.
When do you feel that we are going to see a real impact of all of this work you've just accomplished?
Well, when people know we're starting to get our physical house in order, they start betting on America again. And then when we start taking care of permitting reform, actually permitting reform to where it brings stability in our federal government and the people's ability to be able to project how to build and what it's going to cost to build, and then we make taxes permanent, which we did, you're going to see that impact happening right now because people are investing in America. We made taxes permanent. So that wasn't just for corporations. That wasn't just for millionaires and billionaires. This attached, making it permanent affects every single household in America. But when you make the tax cuts permanent, also people can bet on America too because they know what the cost of production is going to be on manufacturing. So you're going to see manufacturing come back. You're going to see reinvestment in research and development, which that's the future of America. R&D is what we call it in the tax world. When you start looking at individual small businesses that are bringing back in more money, they can start investing in their communities. So you're going to see wages go up because we already see wages go up. We'll see a big effect in the fourth quarter, and then you'll see another big jump in the first quarter of 26 because people are getting the tax returns and they're seeing that benefit of it.
Yeah, that is great to take note of the fact that the tax cuts are permanent. That is a big deal. Real quick before I move on, now you've got to talk about the appropriations for the next go-round, and for that, you're going to have to do that with Democrats. Are you going to be able to have these kinds of accomplishments come September when you've got to get through, or are we going to see another continuing resolution?
We have to work with the Democrats on this. So the question the Democrats are going to face is, can they go away from their base, because right now their base is anti-America. I don't care which way you say it, it's anti-America. Because when you're for socialism, which they are, because Bernie Sanders and AOC and this crazy socialist that they're trying to elect in New York City, that's the leader of the Democrat Party. So the party is a socialist party at this time. So that's anti-America. So the question is, can they do something for America to move us forward? And we, as Republicans in the Senate, we can't do it without them. We have to have them. So are they willing to shut down the government? Because we have 12 appropriation bills that we've got to do, or are we going to do a CR by September 30th, or the government goes into shutdown? If we go into shutdown, it's a Schumer shutdown. It's 100% a Schumer shutdown, because he's leading the Senate for the Democrat Party. And I will bet it's probably going to move into a Schumer shutdown.
Wow. Well, so we're going to look at a shutdown come September. Look, you mentioned it. You've got prominent Democrats right now lining up behind that socialist mayoral candidate, Zohran Mamdani, praising his rise in New York. Watch this.
I will endorse him. Look, he's a very charismatic, relatable person. I agree that this Democratic Party needs to center more on working class Americans, that we need to raise the wage, and that we need a more economically populist agenda.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that from Ro Khanna. I mean, House Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries meeting with Mamdani on Friday. Is this the direction now of the Democrat Party? You just said he's actually the leader. I thought Hakeem Jeffries was in the lead, but it looks like the AOC arm and Mamdani is really leading things.
Well, think about this. He says charismatic. Well, I've never seen a socialist come to power that wasn't charismatic, but once they come into power, they bring down the hammer. They control you by controlling your education, your health care, and your food supplies. And by the way, have you ever met a poor socialist leader? No, because they rob from everybody else while they're pointing fingers at those that have made it in the right way through capitalism.
Wow, that's incredible. Senator, we'll be going to be watching this certainly closely. We so appreciate your time this weekend. Thank you.